Most of the Seestern homages I've reviewed so far had an excellent build quality, but more often than not Seestern added something to the design that a lot of times made me think that it would be great if the watch that they used as inspiration had the same design elements too. Now, did they do the same on this Bauhaus style watch? Well, kinda. However, they also left some elements out, but am I possibly asking too much? Well, we have it here. Let's find out. Hello and welcome back! Okay, before we unpack all the design details and specifications, I think it is important to get a good idea about the price point of this watch. Most of the time, this Seestern Bauhaus timepiece is priced at around $90 US. However, quite often, especially during the sales, which these days happen nearly every second day, this watch can be found for around $60 or sometimes even cheaper. I paid $63 for it, and I will leave a link where I could find the best prices for this watch in the description of this video. Okay, let's be frank, we are looking here at a kind of amalgamation of Nomos design elements from various Nomos models. And by the way, this is the second version of this watch which Seestern had to rush to market, because the first version had the word original on the dial, which, needless to say, drew a well-deserved ridicule. It looks like Seestern got the message loud and clear and fixed that unfortunate oversight. And to Seestern credit, they reacted pretty quickly, and now we have this new version that says automatic instead. And I must admit, I actually like the choice of font on the dial. I think it works here very well. So if you are familiar with Nomos designs, you will probably recognize that we have here a Tangente overall look with Ahoi model elements, and it is powered by Seagull reputable automatic mechanical caliber. And to be perfectly honest, I think Seestern nailed it. I mean, they used just the right ingredients here to deliver a very practical watch, and yet without jeopardizing the overall aesthetics. In particular, we have here loomed hands as well as loomed hour markers, something that Tangente doesn't have, and we also get a practicality of an automatic movement, so we don't need to hand wind this watch on a daily basis. Okay, I would recommend at least one or possibly two changes here, and I'll get to them as we look through the details of this watch, but even as is, it is a very impressive timepiece. Okay, dimensions. The case diameter is 38.7mm, the case height is very commendable 9.2mm, lug width is 20mm, and lug-to-lug distance is 47mm, exactly, which is, funny enough, almost 1cm or 7mm to be more accurate, shorter than the same dimensions on Nomos Tangente. Something a lot of reviewers of Nomos watch found puzzling, to say the least. Now, the supplied leather strap will comfortably cover wrists up to 8¼ of an inch, or about 21 centimeters in circumference, and I would add that the quality of the strap is very good, as we will see shortly, and this watch, as supplied, weighs only 61 grams. Okay, by definition, the Bauhaus style implies that form follows function and less is more, and this case does look very minimalistic. However, if we look closer, we will notice a few interesting details. For starters, this full stainless steel case consists out of three parts: a top part, which can be possibly classified as a fixed bezel, the middle part, which has lugs attached to it, and the third part, the screw-on exhibition back case. All the parts of the case have a mirror polish finish, and I must add that the finishing is very decent. Seestern mastered the stainless steel finishing techniques, and it definitely shows here. We have a well-proportioned crown. The crown is signed with the Seestern logo, a starfish, which, in case you are not familiar, is what Seestern means in German. Now, this is a push-pull crown, which is kind of expected on this style of watch. However, having a screw-on back case and even some usable loom on the dial, as we will see shortly, I think a screw-down crown would have been more appropriate here. I think it would have definitely added a level of practicality to this watch. What do you think, or am I asking too much from this essentially dress timepiece? Do let us know in the comments. And most likely, due to that push-pull crown, we have here declared 50 meters of water resistance, which is still quite acceptable on such a watch. We have a good clear sapphire crystal covering the dial. I couldn't find any reference to air coating on the product listings, however I must say that it deals with the reflections quite well, so I'm not 100% sure that there is no coating applied. As you can see, the dial legibility is very good at pretty much most viewing angles. Also, this sapphire crystal sits ever so slightly proud of the mirror polish bezel, and sapphire being more scratch resistant than stainless steel, it should provide some additional protection from scratches. And while I have my diamond tester warmed up, we might as well test the exhibition window on the back of the case, and well, nope, it is not a sapphire, so no sapphire sandwich here, which is fine, however, it would have been nice if it was. As for the movement, we have Seagull ST1701 automatic mechanical movement powering this watch. Seagull is one of the largest, if not the largest movement manufacturer in the world, producing about a quarter of all the movements globally, so they know a thing or two about making movements. This ST17 caliber has been around since early 2000s, and it is an upgrade from an older caliber ST16. It beats at 21,600 vibrations per hour, and it has around 40 hours of power reserve. Also, it is not a hackable movement. As you can see, the small second hand is still running even when I pull the crown to adjust the time. As you can see through the exhibition case bag, this movement even has some decorative components like Geneva stripes on the rotor and on the base plate. Arguably not the most exciting movement to look at, however, I think the exhibition window creates some additional visual interest, so I really don't mind it. As for the dial, well, Seestern did an excellent job here. Okay, in terms of design originality, very little points go to Seestern, however, the execution is very good, and I like the choice of topography here. So many times you have Chinese manufacturers put together an excellent looking dial, only to destroy the looks by using some completely unsuitable font, so that is not the case here. Now, Seestern offers this watch in 4 colorways, this sand or ivory color, the sky blue one, white and dark blue. Looks like the availability can be a bit of a touch and go, so I would recommend to keep an eye on this, especially during the sales. Everything is printed on this dial, the print is nice and crisp, and as I stated earlier, we even have some lume here to highlight the hour indices and of course the hands. Okay, the lume level will not light up the room by no means, however, taking into account that Tangente has pretty much no lume at all, I think this lume performance is quite acceptable on this style of watch. As for this leather strap, well, it is, like the rest of this timepiece, of a very good quality. The stitching is simply impeccable, at least on the watch that I have here. The quality of the leather is good. It might need a bit of a breaking in, however, even out of the box, it is nice and flexible enough to wrap comfortably around the wrist. And we have very handy quick-release spring bars here too. As for the hardware, well, again, a very good attention to detail from Seestern. We have a nicely sculpted and well-finished stainless steel buckle with a combination of brushed and high-polished surfaces to complement the stainless steel case. And here is how this watch wears on my about 7-inch wrist. The 9.2mm thin case has a low profile and sits nice and flat, and well-managed lug-to-lug span of 47mm ensures that there is no overhang. Right, so what's my verdict? Okay, a couple of things in my opinion would have made this already very popular watch practically perfect. First, a screw-down crown and possibly a sapphire exhibition window on the back of the case. However, it is still very capable and practical watch, and Seestern did listen to the feedback and sorted out the wording on the dial. So now, at the price of around 60 bucks, I think it is hard to fault timepiece. What are your thoughts? Well, do share with us in the comments. So, as you can see, Seestern, which is part of the Sugess brand, does make very good quality watches, and if you want to see more outstanding quality homages from this brand, I'll put a link on the screen somewhere, possibly around here. Thank you for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, of course. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.